of the dedicated educators out there. Today, I'm going to do a humble sharing session on my action research entitled Level Up Language Learning Gamification Approach for Gen Z. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Haja Aishah binti Haji Othman from Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Keladi, Kulim, Kedah, Darul Aman. Thank you, Melta, for having us in Malta International Research Conference on English Language Education 2024. Let me introduce to my action research. This paper explores the intersection of gamification and language acquisition, specifically focusing on its progress in bolstering writing proficiency among English as a second language ESL learners. Ladies and gentlemen, the research focuses on the specific intervention, which is the integration of gamification into vocabulary learning for essay writing to assess its progress in overcoming the identified challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the classroom observation, it shows that some students have some difficulties in writing their essays. Gamification has emerged as a viable approach for educators and English as a second language learners seeking to enhance language proficiency, particularly in writing skills. The incorporation of gamification aims to infuse purposeful and immersive learning experiences into the often challenging realm of language acquisition. This action research used the action plan of gamification, specifically named vocabulary tower games or vocabulary block, to employ and introduce a new set of words, ultimately aiming to bolster writing proficiency. The study was conducted among 7 Form 6 students at my school, utilizing English vocabulary during writing tasks. Ladies and gentlemen, the result indicate a positive reception from educators and learners regarding the implementation of gamification in ESL classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, now let us look at the teaching and learning reflection. There are some issues in teaching writing. The students have some difficulties to remember and use new vocabulary. And what is the importance of vocabulary in writing mastery? Vocabulary is one of the important elements for students to learn English language. From figure 1, ladies and gentlemen, we can see the initial teaching and learning reflection, whereby firstly, students will lack of interest in reading. Number 2, students have difficulties in remembering new words and writing essay. Number 3, students prefer interesting classroom session. So based on the teaching and learning reflection in my classroom, let us see the action research focus, research objectives, and research question. So the research focus of this action research is to look at the methodology that involved with the identification and retention of new vocabulary facilitated by gamification, specifically known as vocabulary tower for sentence construction. The research objectives include 3 important points. Number 1, to explore the impact of gamification in acquisition of new vocabulary. Number 2, to investigate the role of gamification, which is the vocabulary tower, for the students' confidence in articulating their thoughts and ideas in written form. Number 3, to examine how gamification enhance the teaching and learning process while students learn how to write. What are the research questions? There are 3 research questions. Number 1, how does the utilization of gamification, specifically the vocabulary tower, contribute to student acquisition of new vocabulary? Number 2, in what ways does gamification assist students in gaining more confidence in writing? Number 3, how does the implementation of gamification enhance the teaching and learning progress to assist students in improving their writing skills? Teachers out there, what is the methodology of this action research classroom? McDiff and Markhead action research model had been adopted in this action research. The research participants were 5 female and 2 male students, and it involved 3 cycle process. And there are four phases in this specific action research. The phase that I will discuss for number one, observation and reflection, that is based on teaching and learning reflection in the classroom. Number two, action plan, which is the gamification, specifically the vocabulary tower. Number three, evaluation, which is based on document analysis, unstructured interview, and classroom observation. Last but not least, the modification among the student engagement activities, whereby the teacher and student improve the teaching and learning process with three cycle methodology. Teachers out there, let us look at the data analysis and document analysis. Now, there are a few types of data analysis had been carried out, including document analysis. And the document analysis is based on the students' worksheet, exercises, and essays, where you can see for cycle one, the teacher had given example of worksheet one, an example of exercise one for cycle two. These exercises had been carried out by the student in order to assist them to learn new vocabulary to be used in the essay writing. Ladies and gentlemen, so what about the assessment criteria used for essay writing? These are the elements used for document analysis in marking the student essays, and this assessment criteria is one of the important elements to be mastered by the student. Ladies and gentlemen, let us proceed with the next slide, and I will discuss about the data collection and data analysis, whereby there are 6 questions on the unstructured interview sessions. For example, number 1, what is the problem when the student trying to understand a new word? Number 2, why are constructing sentences difficult? Then let us look at the classroom observation through reflection and video analysis. During this observation, I can see the progress of the students when they're playing the game and using the vocabulary. They learn to write their essays. This will assist their ability to learn new vocabulary. And the next slide is to answer the question of how to play the game. If you look at the video, there are 4 students for one group. The student will stack the block and they play the game. They would choose the number written on the dice and then look at the word on the block. Then they will write the word and they have to understand the definition on the word. This one can be found in the online dictionary, and then they will understand the definition or types of word, and after that they will put back the block. Then the next person will repeat the same process again. And on my right is the example of worksheet 1, whereby they will write down the word and the definition of the words and how to determine the winner. The winner is the student with the highest total or sum up of the numbers written in the block, and the player with the highest sum up is the champion. My student really enjoyed the game. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, there were 3 cycles. Cycle 1 is the exercise on how to understand the word or the definition. Cycle 2, I added with the exercise or worksheet based on the word, and they have to rewrite the word that they have learned. And cycle 3, give the chance for the students to practice the words that they have used in a descriptive essay, and they can use the words as they already remember and understand the words. Ladies and gentlemen, so what are the findings and discussions of this action research? There are 3 research questions. Let us look at research question 1. The student mentioned that they can learn new words, definition, and types of the words. Student also had fun and engaging activities with the teachers. Let's look at research question 2, whereby the students and teachers have positive response. When the student use digital dictionary, they can write better. And for research question number 3, based on the teacher's reflection, the teacher can learn new method. It will be enjoyable and meaningful, and this contribute to professional development. And the teacher and student can practice creative and innovative teaching and learning through the guidance of the teacher, and communication skill can be upgraded. From the student reflection, they said that I love it so much as I can have fun with my friends and learn new vocabulary. I love it because it can improve my vocabulary. Ladies and gentlemen, the game had been shared with other teachers and students as well during the student sharing session and teachers sharing session with other schools and other institutions for various activities. Ladies and gentlemen, now let us discuss about the reflection on teaching and learning. It gives positive impact whereby the teacher and students had fun and enjoyable together with meaningful learning. Teacher can increase motivation. And lastly, creative and innovative teaching session can be carried out. Ladies and gentlemen, let us look at the overall reflection whereby we have to unlearn and relearn in order to learn new methodology of teaching and learning. Teacher and student can improve the teaching and learning process. Gamification is always fun and engaging. In the future or the future research, we will combine traditional board games or use gamification and digitalization when taking into consideration the linguistic and humanistic factors.